That is bloody awesome, isn't it? He's got a cigarette.
Look at the flowering off those rounds entering. Like, that is beautiful ballistics when they came in.
He just doesn't have a chest anymore.
He does. Look at, so we have a couple different impacts. So to be clear, there's a little bit of lag and stagger between.
Look at that cigarette in his mouth, man. Troops, today we are reacting to, we test different execution methods with Ballistic Dummies. This is by Grand Thumb, arguably the best military channel on the internet, on the YouTube. But yeah, we're going to do this today, guys. Sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Let's get straight into this one, troops. We're going to rewind it back to the beginning. And yeah, if you don't mind, like, sharing, and subscribing to this, it's going to be a fun one. We've got basically military guys dressed in laboratory suits, pretend to be all scientific and stuff, and I kind of like it, actually, guys. I want to see more stuff from them. But yeah, original link will be in the description, as always, guys. And let's get into it.
Capital punishment. Executions. The taking of one.
I can't keep my face straight when I'm watching this guy, because he's such a he's just good, isn't he? But seeing him in this role, it's really funny.
Man's life for his crimes. Is it moral? Is it ethical? Well, these are questions we're not here to answer in Grand Thumb. What we are here to bring you is cold, hard truth. And the cold, hard truth we are bringing you today is, what does it look like and how effective is it? We're going to be testing out various execution methods that are real world, using the actual weapons, using the actual ammo, and we hope to give you guys a good visual representation of what it looks like. Because what is important here on Grand Thumb is what, Micah?
Science.
That's right, science. And we are here to bring you science in a world of wishy-washy nothingness. But before we do that, we of course have to thank the biggest sponsor of the channel. The biggest sponsor of the channel is the who, Micah?
Sonoran Desert Institute.
That's right, Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're looking to get your start in gunsmithing, they are the people to go to. We love them. They do sponsor our science, and it's not always good science, but it is still science. So big thank you to them, and of course, we cannot forget who, Micah?
Primary Arms.
Which we are the only influencer to have ever bullied a real company into releasing a Skittles sticker. I don't know if I'm proud. Great optics, great price, we love them. And of course, guys, if you're looking to get better at dry firing, Mantis turns your gun into a dry fire machine. We love it. I use the hell out of it on my off time, just shooting the TV constantly. Rest in peace, Jennifer Lawrence. Now, my name is Michael Jones. I am a retired military, avid shooter, and big proponent of gun science. And today we're going to be answering some very...
Gun science. I like that. You know why? Because it can categorize his channel as educational if it's science. This dude is really, really smart, and he's such a good, I don't want to say actor, he's a good host for his videos, isn't he? Like, he's really engaging for a military guy. Military guys are good at everything, I think, anyway.
Very cool questions. Now, what we have right here is a ballistic dummy from Ballistic Dummy Labs. A very good approximation of what the human body is. We have bone, we have blood, we have organs. And this is about as close as we can get without using what, Micah?
Real human beings?
Pedophiles, which aren't real human beings.
I can't believe he's just said that. He did not just say that.
So, we're going to use these as a stand-in, and we're going to be starting with, I think, one of the most interesting executions, and that is how they execute people in Utah. Thank you, Mormons. Now, Utah still has a firing squad. Now,
really?
Firing squad used to be used a lot.
Americans, can you confirm, is this true?
More, not so much anymore, because they considered it inhumane, and hopefully we can prove that not true. So, in Utah, what they use is Winchester 94 rifles, chambered in 30-30. Now, we could not get Winchester 94s, and we couldn't get Henrys, but we told Rossi that we were going to be doing a execution video, and they happily sent us guns, so thank you, Rossi. The round
we told somebody we're going to be doing an execution video, and they sent us some guns, no problem. Failed to mention that it's a practice serial that they're doing, you know, on dummies. So, yeah, the humor in this is unbelievable, man.
Rounds used are Winchester silver tips and 30-30. This is a fairly old ammunition, and as much as we can tell from our insider source, these are the actual rounds that are used, and they were very hard to source.
Wow.
So, in Utah, they use 5 30-30 rifles, and one of those rifles has a wax slug in it. That way, if any of the guys, you know, are very sad about shooting somebody, then they can, you know,
play mental gymnastics.
Yeah, like, oh, maybe I had the wax slug, because apparently it feels very much so like real.
You know, the thing is with that, guys, if you are quite used to shooting and you're familiar with weapon systems and how they operate, the kick and everything like that associated with firing a weapon system, you're going to know. Trust me on that. The people, it's a bit of a moral thing to kind of, you know what, it wasn't me, but I think whoever shoots a live round and a dummy round, they're definitely gonna know. I knew. You just know, guys. All right, you just
recoil. So in any case, only 4 of the rifles are actually firing a slug. So we have 4 shooters, each firing 1 round of Winchester 30-30 Silvertip into the chest of the dummy, and we'll be doing our first execution video. So enough talk. Let's get on with it. Just gonna make sure our guy right here. Feel a little calm. We have a little bit of nicotine, calm him down. This is pretty intense. So with all that being said, let's kill him. All right, right here we have our pop.
He actually lit it as well. The dummy is smoking a cigarette, whilst we've got 4 strapping, probably ex-military guys, getting ready to blast some dummies up.
We have Stockpile Defense, Boise, Idaho, and then, of course, who are you representing, Pat?
Permit Tattoos.
All right, cool. So, we have these vagrants. We're going to be putting this guy out of his misery.
Vagrant. Yeah, we just got some random dudes to execute the dummy.
4 rounds of 30-30. Mike, are you ready?
I am.
3, 2.
Hang on, the camera's right in front. Right, these dudes better be a good shot. We've got a tattoo store owner who's in the mix on the far left. Guy next to him, yeah, I don't know what he is. Looks like a decent stance. I mean, all Americans are good shooters anyway, really, aren't they? I'm generalizing there, but you get the picture. You're used to weapons. Him, third in. Yeah, big guy. Don't know what to make of it. Guy on the right, clearly ex-military.
1.
Dummy just turned and cracked on smoking. Actually, blubber. Wow. I mean, yeah, death by firing squad. With that, you're really getting, you're getting put to sleep. Is probably the best way of putting it. Yeah, he's definitely dead, isn't he?
Look at the flowering off those rounds entering. Like, that is beautiful ballistics when they came in.
He just doesn't have a chest anymore.
He does. Look at, so we have a couple different impacts. So to be clear, there's a little bit of lag and stagger between all the shots in slow-mo. It's pretty simultaneous, but like, you have to imagine, like, even police officers all shooting together, or, you know, whatever jail officers who are shooting, like, they're not going to be perfectly timed. No. You're kind of going to get 4-ish rounds in around a second. It's kind of brutal.
He's going to feel at least one of them for a little bit.
Wow.
I mean, you would with lethal injection too. How long does lethal injection take? Like,
right, if all goes as planned, the entire execution takes about 5 minutes. Death usually occurs less than 2 minutes after the final injection. However, botched lethal injections have sometimes required more than 2 hours to achieve. That is not right.
30 minutes? I'll take this any day. First round, when it came through, you can see it completely shattered the rib and went straight through the heart. That's death right there.
That's a good... Right, let's just pause it 2 seconds. What would you rather have? I know it's quite an eerie topic. Injection or 4 rounds to the chest? I don't know what I'd rather have. The shots to the chest doesn't sound great either, to be fair. Here
we have these 2, came through the lung tissue, blew out the ascending aorta. Upper round right here, traveled through, shattered the collarbone. If we come out the back, this is where it gets crazy, because we had 2 rounds exit out through the lungs, so you'd see all this tissue coming out. We had 1 round go through the spinal cord. That's, you're donezo, dude.
Game over.
Kind of got stuck right there, and the other round also crushed through the spinal cord as well as through the heart. You're death, man. This is quick. I would take. Okay, would you take lethal injection?
Yeah, for sure, because they put you to sleep first.
It doesn't always work.
Yeah, that's the thing. They do like sedate you and stuff, or at least I think they do. I would take the shots if they sedated me first. If that cigarette was like ganja or something, yeah, happy days.
Doesn't always work. What about, would you take the electric chair over this?
Nah.
No.
Hanging?
No.
You'd rather get shot first?
Yes, absolutely.
I would get shot, 100%. Now, we've tried an American execution method, but what about some other countries throughout the world?
Oh, he isn't doing this, is he? He's going around the globe.
Some of those. So, Micah, we're going to be doing the Soviet/the Russian execution method. You know what that is?
I don't know. It's usually something like you exercised free speech, so they shoot you in the back or something. Give you some spicy tea.
That's pretty good. So you're going to be taking one round of 9x18 to the back of the head. They're very economical. They don't have a lot of money. So that's the best way to save the money because they have a bunch of it. So whether it's a Makarov or if you're Polish or what have you.
I mean, it's going to be real quick, and there's definitely going to be no questions about its effectiveness. It's going to work pretty instantly. Back of the head, yeah, you're not knowing anything about it if that's the case, so I'm taking that.
9x18, which, if you don't know, is a little less than 9mm and a little bit more than 380. Not a lot of power. You're about to get Abraham Lincoln. We're not losing in the Ukraine.
Wow, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah, that was super anticlimactic.
Oh, how? Oh, no, straight out. Blew his nose off. Cigarette stayed.
It's just not that much.
It's like they wanted to suffer a little bit.
Yeah, okay, but come take a look at this right here. So it did straight up, star pattern in the back of the head, and you have all that gunpowder that's burnt into there. And we did have a piece of the, looks like, of the jacket that exited out through the nose and penetrated through the skull. So certainly you're going to die. You're gonna die taking around to the head like that. It seems so unnecessarily brutal, even compared to like the 30-30. Just.
I don't know if it sounds brutal. I mean, it's done the job, right, with one shot. I don't know if I'd rather take that, though, and you couldn't survive this, right? Could you?
Don't get executed in Russia, dude. Oh, Jesus. Next up, we have Thailand. Now, the question is, how would Thailand execute somebody? It's actually quite interesting. So what we have here is we have the person we executed is tied up against a post, and their back is facing towards the shooter, which is a machine gun that is clamped into a vise. We then have a sheet that is between the accused and the shooter so that they don't have to watch the person getting shot. Now, originally they used an older submachine gun that was quite loud, and they would fire a burst of 15 rounds of FMJ into their back until they hopefully died. They wouldn't always die. But apparently that really scared the prisoners because they could hear the automatic gunfire, so they switched over to an MP5 SD, which is very, very quiet. As you know, the SD stands for super duper quiet. So the execution method for Thailand is 15 rounds from a submachine gun into the back through a sheet. Now they paint a tar.
Kind of trying to be ethical with it, aren't they, really, I don't think I'd like this one. 15 rounds. You could get some missing you. I don't know, man. It's a strange thing to want in it.
Bring it on the sheet to ensure that they're hitting the person correctly. Now, we don't have an MP5 SD, so what we are using is an MP5 with a suppressor, firing subsonics. We're going to get the exact same ballistic effects. So, let's get shooting.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's blasting him to bits, right? And another thing, the person's going to be falling as the shots are taking place, so the shot should technically encroach up to his head, I'm guessing. Yeah, this dude's getting riddled, man. You see the rounds popping out as well. Why has he got that music in the background? Let's play some Thai music.
That's so bad. I don't like that at all. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. There's slugs going through the heart, partially exiting, cracking the sternum. You're dead. Look, come here. Look at
You don't say. You're dead.
the back right here, Micah. Like, look at all 15 rounds right there. That is death. It's just brutal. I feel like there's a cleaner way to do it with a gun, and it's not 15 rounds from a submachine gun into the back. I mean, they don't do this anymore, but...
Yeah, I don't. This is my least favorite, actually.
It just felt wrong. Okay, conclusion for Thai execution method. 10 out of 10, do not want it to happen. So far, I'm taking the 4 rounds of 30-30. What about you, Micah?
I'll take the 4 rounds 30-30. Then this, then...
I'm still taking the headshot, man.
The Makarov.
Makarov very last. It seems so unnecessary. Now, our Thai guy right here is pretty injured, but he's not dead yet. So we're going to do another American special. This is a specialty of the Navy SEALs. We're going to do what's called a canoe. Is it a authorized killing under the laws of armed conflict or a war crime? That's not for me to decide. I'm just going to show it to you. So what it is when a combatant's on the ground and is still alive, a safety round is put under the chin, through the head, and then apparently will create that canoe-like effect.
Why is it called a safety round?
Just to make sure they're dead, because you don't want them like popping up with a gun or pulling a grenade, you know, something like that. You just want to make sure they're not alive. Safety round. Lives are expensive, ammo is cheap. Give them another round. And of course, we'll be using the HK-416, which is was one of the weapons of choice of the Navy SEALs. As authentic as possible with the actual military ammo. I can't wait. Interested to see what it looks like.
Yeah, horrible.
Oh!
I wasn't expecting that much power. Jesus, that just blew its jelly face off.
It canoed him!
It just opened him up, dude.
It's a literal canoe. There's like a perfect, like, U going in his face.
Let's give him another one. Let's give him another one. You ready?
You're not satisfied with the result?
I'm just...
Turned from a canoe to a boat.
Dang. Yeah, that's, extremely, that's
Wow.
it, man.
I see why they call it a canoe.
Well, there you have it. Now we're probably going to do the most famous execution to have ever occurred. Bonnie and Clyde, specifically that bitch Bonnie. If you're not familiar with Bonnie and
Specifically that bitch Bonnie.
Clyde, they were outlaws, and a posse was sent out after them, led by Frank Hammer. What a badass name. Now, we do know from varying accounts, or we believe, that when the posse ambushed Bonnie and Clyde, that Bonnie, one of the posse members, stepped out and put a round through his brain immediately.
Wow.
There's good evidence to suggest that Ted Hinton, then with his Colt Monitor, unloaded about 20 rounds from his magazine into poor old Bonnie, right?
I don't know the story, guys. It's not really a big deal in Britain, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I know of Bonnie and Clyde, but I don't really know the story. So this is, like, kind of news to me.
Here, now, this is a representation of Bonnie. She's a little bit smaller.
And she's got no clothes on, and she's jelly-ish and see-through as well.
So what we have right here is we do have the Ford V8 glass. This is a really quality reproduction. We do have the dummy behind it. And, of course, more importantly, we have the Colt Monitor. So if you're not familiar with the Colt Monitor, it is basically a BAR that has been tricked out. It was called the FBI's fighting rifle. You have a large brake to stabilize it.
Yeah, that looks hideous. That is an ugly weapon system.
It is horrifically loud, and it is firing 30-06. Very interested to see the damage. In the post-mortems on Bonnie, it very much so shredded her body and shot off her hand and stuff. So it was pretty brutal. Now, of course, she was shot with other rounds, but let's see what it looked like from the Colt Monitor.
He's put some... It's a horrible weapon system, eh? Whoa. That is... It's just destroyed Bonnie. Wow, that is incredibly... That is insane.
Oh no!
Bonnie, no!
Mike!
Bonnie! Oh!
That is outrageous.
Bonnie, I'm sorry. So we're gonna pop up a couple photos right here. Here's what's really interesting to me, and that's that I'm really happy about this. The glass behaved just like it did in the photos, and the actual car is still on display. So I think it's really interesting that we see kind of the same pattern and the same bullet size from the 30 cal from the Colt Monitor. I think that's really cool. There's like a nerd in me. But also what was really interesting was that glass shot back into the dummy. Do you see all that glass and shrapnel coming in?
That's just
This was probably horrifically violent when it happened. Yeah. They probably died quite quickly. Well, especially Clyde. Rest in peace. Another thing to consider too is that they were a slight upward angle, so that probably accounts for the fact that Bonnie's head was not sawed off like it was in the case of our video. But the 30-06 clearly had the power to do it. You have to understand it was a moving car. They were firing probably a ton of adrenaline, so they probably didn't get as precise hits. They're a little bit further away. But it certainly demonstrates the power that was coming from just one of the weapons that was fired at them during this time. Pretty incredible. This is the way I'd want to go. Just taking 20 rounds from a Colt Monitor. Just gone, dude. It saw my head off, dude. Just do it. Well,
yeah, I couldn't do that. I'm choosing the Russian way still.
Brings us to the end of the execution video. We've tried out a lot of different methods right now, and I think I'm going to rank them by how I would like to be executed. I will say Colt Monitor would be my number 1. My number 2 is the 30-30, and after that, don't let me do any of the other ones because they seem horrible. Micah, what are your top 2?
I think just mostly style points, the Colt Monitor wins.
Yeah, style points, the Colt Monitor is pretty freaking cool. And then 30-30.
Yeah, I mean, if it's the last thing that's going to happen to you, it better be tight.
You know, overall, I will say, you know, compared to like hanging, lethal injection, and some of those other things, I'll take getting shot, dude. That sounds way better to me.
I think they're just lazy, man. They don't want to clean up.
Yeah, they just don't want to clean up everything. In any case, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it was really interesting seeing what the...
Fantastic video. Really, really good. Garand Thumb, link will be in the description. As always, troops, make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you've got any questions on that below, please drop them down for me as well. Hopefully these guys don't mind me reacting to their videos. I think I've done 1 or 2 of theirs before in the past anyway. Troops, please like, share, subscribe to me. It is really important, okay? I'm trying to put as much content out as possible over the next few weeks. And yeah, become a member if you want to. I'd really appreciate it, troops. Peace.